Hello, in this video I'll be going over the elements of APA that are required for Units 2 and 3 in English 101. We're going to cover the title page, the references page for R2, and the citations for R2 as well. Now I'm going to be demonstrating using Google Docs, but I will show you briefly in Microsoft Word how to create some of the same elements. Most things are the same, but there are a couple of differences, so I'll show you those later. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as I can, but it is a lot of information, so just know that you can speed the video up or you can skip through it forward or back, depending on what you need. So we're starting by creating a title page, and we're going to insert the page number, and we're going to choose the option that has the page numbers in the top right-hand corner. That automatically inserts the page number in the header for you, so you don't have to do anything else. We used to use an old version of APA that had a running head up here, but we don't use that anymore, so this is all we need to do for our header. You're going to double click outside of the header, and the first thing you want to do is make sure that you are double spacing. So we're double spacing, we are centered on the page, and I'm going to hit the enter key about 7 times in order to bring my cursor down farther on the page. I want my title page information to be centered both vertically and horizontally on the page. So we're going to copy that information in. I just have it on another document so you don't have to watch me type. The information that goes on the title page includes the title of your essay, and that information should be in bold, and you should capitalize all main words of the title. It should be a unique title. Each student should have a separate title for their own essay. Do not use the article that you read, and do not use, Unit 1 personal essay. So you want to come up with some unique title that reflects what it is you're writing about. You're going to include a blank space after the title, and then turn the bold off. Type your name, English Department, comma, Delaware Technical Community College, English 101, Composition 1, your instructor's name, and then the date. Make sure that you spell the date out. Do not abbreviate it, JAN period, and don't write it out in number form. Like that. Not in APA. Always like that. So, you're going to move down to the top of your second page, and you'll notice that the page number automatically populates. So what we need to do on this page is we're going to enter the title of our essay at the top. It's going to serve as the heading for our introduction. So we're just going to copy the same title. We're going to paste it onto the page, and then we're going to go down a line, come off of centering, and we're going to indent our first line. So this is, oops, I should not be in bold. This is where you'll type your introduction. Okay, so you're going to type, and then because this summary response essay requires headings within the essay, the next line, you're going to go back to centering, you're going to go back on bold, and you're going to type summary. And then off of centering, off of bold, indent, type your summary here. Then the next part of your essay is going to be a response, and you need to have a heading for that as well. So you're going to type response as a heading, and then back to regular typing, indent. Your response is going to include 3 paragraphs. Para 2. Para 3. Okay, obviously I'm just giving you kind of a short breakdown of what that's going to look like. And then you're going to do one last heading for your conclusion. And then back to our regular typing. This is where you will type your conclusion. So you know that this is very short, and I'm just kind of showing you the structure of your headings. For your actual summary response essay, you need to have at least 3 fully written pages. So make sure that you're including at least 3 fully written pages in your essay. The last numbered page of your report is going to be your references page. And so at the top of the references page, we're going to keep that same heading style, and we're going to type the word references at the top in the center. We're going to then begin typing the reference for this article. So the Units 2 and 3 use Reading To, which is Students Returning to Campus Want the University Experience, by Blake Lee Whiting and Thomas Bergeron. It was published August 2nd, 2022. So this is some of the information that we need, but it's not all of the information that we need. So what I would encourage you to do is open the original article online so that you can refer back to the original article. Okay. I would also encourage you to have your APA guide handy. There are links to this throughout the course, throughout the schedule, in the announcements, and I will try to remember to post it in the video description here as well. But the APA guide will help you to format each element of your APA entry, and it shows you visually an example of what your APA entry should look like. This is a standard example that comes from a database. Our article would be more like this standard example here because it does not have a DOI and we did not retrieve it from a database. So this is more like the one that we're going to be doing today. There are several different formatting scenarios. You will find this APA guide to be helpful when you format your Reading 3, which is the article that you had to find on your own in EBSCOhost. So you may need to review some of this information when you're creating that, because I can do the one that we're doing, but not necessarily the Reading 3 that because every student will have something different. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're going to start by putting in the author's last name. Now this one is a little bit tricky because there are 2 different authors. But we're going to start with the one that's listed first. The last name is Lee Whiting. The first name is Blake. The second author is Bergeron, and the first name is Thomas. So that's going to look like this on the page. Lee Whiting, comma, capital B, period. And we're using that ampersand. Bergeron, comma, T, period. So those are the names of the authors of this article. The next element is the date. We're going to put it in parentheses. We always put the year first, then the month, then the day. So you might have to look around a little bit to see when this was published. Oh, it's right here, August 2nd, 2022. 2022, comma, August 2nd. Do not abbreviate. And always make sure that the information is in that order. And then there's a period after the closing parentheses of the date entry. The next part is the title of the article. This is a long title, so I'm going to copy it instead of typing it. But I don't want to copy in the formatting, so I'm just going to paste without formatting. APA requires that article titles follow a very strict capitalization rule. You are to capitalize the first word of the title, the first word of a subtitle, and any proper nouns or adjectives. Now this one is, strangely enough, capitalized correctly already, and we don't have to do anything to it to change it. Many article titles that you'll find online use title case where they capitalize every main word, and then you have to fix that. This one's actually right for a change. The next part of the entry is the publication. Where was this published? This was published on a website called The Conversation. So that's what we're going to put here. And the last part of the entry is the URL or the web address. So we're just going to copy the URL from the address bar, and we're going to paste it in. Okay. Now, because this is an article found online and not in a database, we are going to italicize the title. If you had found this article in a database and it was a periodical with a volume, an issue, and a page number, then this would not be in italics and the source would be in italics. But to indicate that this is a web article found online, it is not a periodical, it does not have volumes or issues. Instead, we italicize the title. The last thing to do here is to make sure that all of this is in a hanging indent. And to do that in Google Drive, you're going to highlight the entire entry and then go to Format, Align and Indent, Indentation Options, and under here, choose Hanging under Special Indent. Make sure that this is set to 0.5 or half an inch, and then hit Apply. And what you'll see is that the first line stays all the way to the left, and that the subsequent lines are indented by a half inch. You will have two references on your references page. You're going to reference R2, which is this one. Your reference should look just like this. But you're also going to be referencing R3. And your reference for R3 should probably look similar to this, but maybe a little bit different. So make sure that you are using the APA guide to help you format that correctly. Remember that your entries should be in ABC order on the page. 2 reference entries minimum, hanging indent. So I've added just a couple of other reminders onto the bottom of this page. I realize that I'm getting ready to run out of time, so I'm trying to make this quick. Make sure that you are taking advantage of the resources available, the Writing Center, Ask Your Instructor, use the APA guide. There's going to be another video on citations because I'm not going to be able to fit it into this video. But I just wanted to let you know what your resources were. So make sure that you're taking advantage of those. Take a look at the citations video I will create based on this resource, which is already in the course. So you do have access to just look at this document, but I'm also going to create a video to go over it briefly. Let me know if you have any questions about APA or anything else in the course.